okay? But I think I heard something, and I see in his hand a $50 crisp bill here.
Real crisp, ain't it?
Yes, it is. John Rogers from Standard Division also represents Four Seasons Air Conditioning Parts. Steve Klingenberg, your winner.
Congratulations, Steve. Good luck tomorrow night. Thank you. We hope to be right back in there.
And Gordy Hubbard here representing the Auto Value Parts stores. Gordy?
Steve, we've known each other a long time, and this is good. Oh, boy. He had to do it, didn't he? How much did you pay him, Tom? Okay. Steve, we've known each other a long time. You're a real competitor and a true credit to the sport.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks for coming to Ionia and putting up with our Michigan rain. It'll be great tomorrow. It's going to be hot, but it'll be great.
All right. Steve Klingenberg, the Bad Habit. John Neal coming up next. And John Neal, the byway out to Tecumseh, Michigan. The 4320 John Deere makes his pass here in the 7,500-pound Superstock class. Now, John is the test puller. Don't forget, the first puller in all the divisions. This tractor is twin turbo. I'm going to make a point here as we get into this class a little bit later on. We're going to talk about rear. We talked about blower motors. Now we're going to be talking about turbochargers. What a turbo motor. The 14 tractor field in the 7,500-pound Superstock class tonight. Coming in all the way out of Olean, New York. Past national champion in the Superstock division, driving the International Decase IH 3688, the tractor called the 20 Mule Team of Mr. Tom Dickerson. Tom, too, has been running real strong here in the early part, middle part of the 1997 pulling season of the National Tractor Pulling Association. Stock, block, four-charger setup, making better than 2,500 horsepower out of the International 3688 block. Now, as I say, I can't see in the darkness the rear tires, but I'll try to get a look at them as they come down the track area. I know Tom runs both the tires that I want to compare here tonight. So we'll get a look at it here in a few minutes. Now watch, as the smoke slowly starts to build, it'll go from white to gray to black. All of a sudden, the RPMs are up, the slipper clutches will start to engage, the 30.5s will start to spin, and that tractor, the International 3688 out of Olean, New York, Tom Dickerson, and the 20 Mule Team putting for 300 foot. And Tom down there in that 200 and about 80 foot range. The 20 Mule Team, International out of Olean, New York, Tom Dickerson. We are now in official class, ladies and gentlemen. His measurement, 289 even. 289 even for Tom Dickerson, the 20 Mule Team. Campaigning in the Superstock division. Actually, Corby drove a Michigan Farm Stock Puller tractor. Michigan Farm Stock Pullers were here last night, I do believe. And put on a show for you folks here in Ionia. But he has now graduated into the Superstock ranks. Out of Doren, Michigan, coming up, his own Radical Red of Jim Sandor, the next puller up here in the 7,500-pound Superstock class. These have been married for 10 years now. Spent 5 years in the Farm Stock division and had 3 very good years in that division. And has now started out his second full season of campaigning the Superstock called the Radical Red. Jimmy Sandor bringing it to life. The Radical Red out of Doren, Michigan. Oh, getting underneath the turbos there. Not a big problem. Remember I talked about exhaust driven. What happened is they got such a than it actually is. So Jimmy Sandor is going to be in that 275-foot range here tonight. His measurement, 277 and 5. 277 and 5 for the Radical Red out of Doren, Jim Sandor. In the National Tractor Pulling Association today, to be competitive. The next tractor coming up, ladies and gentlemen, also a past national champion in the Superstock class. From right down the road in Charlotte, Michigan, the Twin Stacks coming to life, the Screaming Demon 2 of Jerry Van Dorpy. several of these competitors tonight. Jerry was one of them. Sandor was one of them. Let me think who else is coming up here. Dale Fry will be one of them. John Stasnick is one of them. They hooked earlier tonight at the fair in Mason, Michigan. They were able to make the show here. As a matter of fact, they said they run into the rain on the way over here. This is why we run the Super Stocks last tonight, so these guys can have a chance to come over here and make the show here at Ionia. So Jerry Van Norpie, the Screaming Demon 2, backing up to the sled. Kill switch is in place. Chain is hooked onto the hitch. Danny Wise, our starting flag judge, motioning Jerry out. Now watch as the twin stacks will come to light. As I said, water starts injecting in. Smoke color changes. All of a sudden the slipper clutches have engaged as the RPMs come up. The tighter or higher the RPMs, the tighter the clutch is engaged. The 30.5s will jump to light. And the Screaming Demon 2, Jerry Van Norpie, is going to be hitting for 300 foot. Now I want you to take a look at the rear tires on this vehicle also. Okay? Just take a good look at him when he gets down here at the end of the track area where you can see him in the light. Jerry Van Norpie, the Screaming Demon 2. Boy, I say, he was up and down. Got it down the track area. The mark he had to beat was 289 feet. 289 was the mark set out there by Tom Dickerson, the 20 mule team. He made it. Your new leader, Jerry Van Norpie, the Screaming Demon 2, 297 and 2. 297 and 2 is the mark to beat set out there in front by Jerry Van Norpie, Screaming Demon 2. Then 3 gallons of water per pass down the 300-foot track. If they do not, they risk the chance of that internal temperature rising to over 1,800 degrees, and they start melting down aluminum parts within the engines of these super stock tractors. Coming up next, this, ladies and gentlemen, is the most state-of-the-art tractor in the United States or Canada today. Brand spanking new as of just a little over a month ago. Owned by a family out of Doren, Michigan. Father-son pulling team. Joe and Arnie Kwiatkowski. Arnie doing all the driving here so far in the 1997 campaign. The brand spanking new Case IA 7250, the wild thing of Arnie Kwiatkowski. Now, this tractor is an alcohol-burning superstock. It will not smoke. But boy, is it running. Actually, they had some problems last night, I understand. They broke the front end out from underneath it. Arnie had kind of a rough ride. Actually, they were 3 years in building this superstock tractor. Arnie spent 3 months out in Missouri during the springtime, which is quite unique for these guys because they farm 6,000 acres of ground between here and Doren, Michigan. Arnie Kwiatkowski, the wild thing with the green light and the green flag. Tremendous job in campaigning a superstock tractor the last couple of years. Actually, he too, just 17 years of age this year. Out of Hayford, Pennsylvania, driving the tractor called the Silver Bullet, Jordan Mustang coming up next. Agco White, 6195, 3-turbo alcohol-burning superstock. Jordan and his dad, Rich, both taking turns campaigning this tractor for the 97 campaign. He was the 1996 Grand National Rookie of the Year. This is his second full season of campaigning that superstock tractor. Now, they too have had some problems with that tractor as of late, the last couple weeks in particular. It's not been run real well. As I said, past national champion 2 years ago, they won the national championship with this tractor. Jordan, the Grand National Rookie of the Year last year, and they are looking for big things again this year. Jordan has the green light, the green flag now flying. The young man out of 84, Pennsylvania, Jordan Mustang. Racing, the team out of 84, Pennsylvania. Machine. It's a full ball score. Classic, a silver bullet. The Auto Value sponsored Michigan Thunder Series for 1997. Up next, a fella that also has been on a roll as of late, but has bounced up and down as far as the way this vehicle is running here in the last 3 weeks. Tractor 8670 New Holland Ford body machine out of New Regal, Ohio, the lethal injection of Denny Hayford. Stock block 401. Actually, cubic inch wise, this is probably the smallest block vehicle you will see in competition out here tonight. 4-charger setup, make it better than 2,400 horsepower, this tractor out of New Regal, Ohio. Now, you know I talked earlier on in the modified tractor division. The name of the game, horsepower to the front, transfer to the track, get the tires spinning as quickly as you possibly can, and propel yourself down the 300-foot track area. Watch the rear tires on this tractor. We'll talk about it here in a minute as he makes his pass down the 300-foot track. Denny Hayford, New Regal, Ohio, the lethal injection Ford. Whoa, that's not good. Denny definitely having some charger problems there with the Ford, the New Holland out of New Regal, Ohio. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll tell you what, it's not the run he wanted by any way, shape, or form. Let's put him together. Denny Hayford, he will be back another day. Look at the tread design, okay? You say, so what? They look like tractor tires. Well, that's the point I'm trying to make. The tires on, we've seen tracks where the single cuts will flat put it on the double cuts. And then vice versa. We've seen tracks where the single cuts just don't cut it. You have to have the double cut tires to be a winner. So that's just part of the sport. You never know from one night to the next which track may show up for your particular tires. All right, up next, the final one, the alcohol burning super stocks in competition here tonight, I do believe, out of Shelburne, Wisconsin, the slow ride of Terry Blackburn. Terry also has had some engine problems. We saw him break down at Fort Recovery, Ohio, the first Grand National event down there. Went home and got it repaired. Slow ride. Boy, I tell you, he is still having some problems there with that tractor, the slow ride. And that's one of the unique things about this sport, folks, that I've actually seen him at since I saw him break a couple weeks ago. His measurement, 297 and 5. 297 and 5 for Terry Blackburn and slow ride. Of a foot. I got this nice little measuring device here, or actually it's a printout. That computes the 3.60 inches is all it's separating. I believe they're running for third and fourth right at the moment. 3.60 inches is all it's separating third and fourth place here at the moment. The competition is keen in 1997. Well, I see Dale Fry walking down the track, so that means that must be Brian Heiser doing the driving here tonight. The Fry Heiser pulling team out of the Ann Arbor area. Tractor coming up, the International 1086 3-charger setup called Up and Smoke of Dale Fry and Brian Heiser. As I said, Brian doing the driving here tonight. They both take turns campaigning the super stock tractor. Dale bought this tractor a couple years ago now out of the state of Wisconsin. It was called the Hogan's Hero. Brought it back to the state of Michigan and promptly put it into the winner's circle at the fair down in Saline. Brian came on board a couple years ago and they've been doing a fantastic job. Brian Heiser, Up and Smoke. As this track's getting a little bit bizarre out here in the middle of the track area. Takes off and then it kind of 65 and 1, 265 and 1 for the fella out of the Ann Arbor area, steelworker by trade, Brian Heiser. So we're talking about some new vehicles here for the 1997 campaign setup. That's one of the other neat things about this sport. The Polish Express of John Stasnick is now sporting 4 chargers up underneath the hood and the cowling of this super stock tractor. Manchester, the next one up, has been running real well as of late. And I mean that, Mr. Consistent. Consistency in this sport a lot of times will win you championships, and that's what it takes. I know a couple years ago, Dave Manner told me the exact same thing. He says, I don't have to win every event. As a matter of fact, I don't even have to place second. If I can be consistent within that first 5, responsibility. We've seen some wild rides here in the past. It's up to the sled operator to keep that vehicle under control, and it's a big decision to make. So that must be what was happening down there, something a little bit loose in the kill switch. So John Stasnick, the Polish Express, coming to life. Well, I tell you, he got down the track. It wasn't pretty, but he did get down the track. A little bit nose heavy. He would rather come out and carry about 50 more pounds on the back, get that front end up. 9, 2, 4, 5, and 9. If you ask any one of these competitors, how do you learn to drive? I believe it. Also, a new setup for the 1997 campaign out of New Albany, Ohio. Coming in next, the Magnum 7130 of Kevin Conrad. This tractor, too, a very capable tractor. Kevin and a fellow by the name of Danny Dean taking turns campaigning this tractor. We saw them get into the pull-off situation down in Fort Recovery, Ohio a couple weeks ago. And finished very, very well in the class. But they ended up breaking the tractor there that weekend. They just got it put together. Kevin was telling me tonight out in the pit area that he has big hopes for it here the rest of the 1997 campaign. This is one of the many Hypermax tractors in the crowd here tonight. Hypermax Engineering, one of the proud sponsors of the National Tractor Pulling Association. Okay, Kevin hands in the air, tells the person who is hooking that he is clear. The vehicle is in neutral. That's what he was doing down there. The Land Shark, Kevin Conrad, up next. Kevin is an engineering consultant. Started out, was a spectator for about 20 years, and decided he ought to get into the sport. What a way he has went here in the Superstock division. Kevin Conrad, the Land Shark, coming to life. Again, a 436 cubic inch block, better than 500 cubic inches, now underneath the hood of the cowling. 3-charger setup. The Land Shark, Kevin Conrad, heading for 300 foot. Kevin, too, running the single-cut tires there. Also a little bit nose-heavy here in the Superstock division tonight. For tomorrow night, as Kevin's in that 200 and about 55-foot range here this evening. The basement on the Land Shark, Kevin Conrad, 256 and 3. 256 and 3. You see how much dirt is left right here? The 23rd and 24th of August at Ambassador Park, Fort Recovery, Ohio, for the 11th annual Enderley Pull-Off. Coming up right after the spoilers are over. And up next, this tractor is the long distance pulling award of the year. Coming in out of Crow's Landing, California, the big red one of Tom Dompey, driven here tonight by Mr. Esther Lane. International 1466 4-charger setup, making upwards of about 2,400 horsepower for the big red one, the International 1466. Tractor Esther Lane doing the driving. The big red one has the green light. Green flag is now flying. For Esther Lane, the big red one, the International out of California. I understand they had a little bit of braking problem too. The guys were telling me out in the pit area that they had the 3-charger axle on the rear of the basement. On Esther Lane, 276 and 8, 276 and 8 for the tractor out of Crow's Landing, California. The big red one, Esther Lane doing the driving here tonight. The T21 out of Ann Arbor, Michigan, the Dickerson brothers going bad. Stop block, 426 cubic inch Atlas Chalmers block, 3-charger setup, the Pumpkin Gone Mad of Mike and Scott Dively for the 1997 campaign. This team won their first event of the 97 campaign just a little over 2 weeks ago down at a regional national event in Van Buren County down in Hartford, Michigan, in the southwestern corner of the state. And it's very, very capable of getting there again here tonight at the grand national level of competition here at Ionia Free Fair. So Mike doing the driving, Scott also taking turns, as I said, in the driver's seat of this Superstock tractor. These guys have done a good job of campaigning the Superstock. This is their second year of competition. Part owner of Dively Equipment and Agco Alice dealership down in Indiana. So Mike Dively is hooked, being motioned forward. Again, 3-charger setup on the 426 cubic inch Atlas Chalmers block. He is ready. Green flags are flying from the track officials for the Pumpkin Gone Mad, the T21 out of Ann Arbor, Mike Dively. Clutch is tightened right up down there at that 260-foot mark for Mike Dively, the Pumpkin Gone Mad. There again, single cut tires. Give me a big round of applause. Mike Dively, the Pumpkin Gone Mad, makes his pass. 263 and 1. 263 and 1 for the Pumpkin Gone Mad. It is to end this class. Ladies and gentlemen, again, as the dust settled last year, we ended up the Grand National Pulling Season in Inwood, Ontario, Canada on a beautiful, beautiful Sunday afternoon once the skies cleared. This guy coming up, national champion more times than I can count in the Superstock division. One of the pioneers of the Superstock division out of Dayton, Minnesota, riding his own International 1486. The tractor called Red Line Fever. Esther Lane, the final competitor here with a chance to get into the pull-off. We've got 2 of them out the gate right now, and he is your defending 1996 Grand National Champion in the 7,500-pound Superstock class. He's a farmer by trade. They farm about 600-700 acres of ground up in Dayton, Minnesota. This guy knows how to put the tractors down the track and into the winner's circle. He's been there many, many times. Watch the smoke. It starts to build as the RPMs come up. The water starts injecting in, cooling the internal temperatures down. The slipper clutches are going to start to engage. The Red Line Fever heading for 300 foot. Esther Lane. Watch the 20-foot Chevrolet scoreboard. Go for Esther Lane.
In the pull-off. There'll be 3 super tractors in the pull-off. It will be a floating finish. Pull-off. 3 tractors in the pull-off.
This is the dedication, as I said, that it takes. You heard Steve Klingenberg talk about working all night. Sometimes you have to do these things to compete at the level these people are competing at. So Arnie, first one up, knows what he has to do. Again, a floating finish line. The track has been extended to 310 feet. Gonna try a little bit right in the center. Scott Doty is ready. Danny Wise is ready for Arnie Kwiatkowski, the Wild Thing. That white line just reached out and grabbed him, I do believe.
That's a DQ, went out of bounds.
Trouble keeping the engine together and having a rough time getting blocks. They were having some problems blowing the blocks apart. They got with Caterpillar, they got some spare blocks and are out and competing very, very well for the 1997 campaign. So Jordan's got the green light and the green flag. The silver bullet, Jordan Lustig. Pennsylvania, the silver bullet, Jordan Lustig. And the excess alcohol burning off the exhaust pipes there. Now listen.
This is a floating finish, so that is not a full pull.
Okay, now work through it, and thank you for being very patient here this evening on behalf of the Ionia Fair Board. We thank you very much for that, as well as the Tractor Puller and Tractor Pulling Association. So Esther Lane, right down the center is the way he's going to go here. But the International 1486 out of Dayton, Minnesota. Don't forget, the mini rods will be in right after this class is over. Pennsylvania, Jordan Lustig, the silver bullet. Second place tonight will go to Esther Lane, the Red Line Fever. And third place tonight will be Arnie Kwiatkowski, the Wild Thing International. Tractor Pulling Association, the fine folks from Chevrolet. And of course, right here in the state of Michigan, Auto Value. Standard ignition, 4-season air conditioning products. We've got Hastings Builders and of course Gates Belt and Hose. We want to thank all of you for coming out and participating in tonight's event.